When I mention horror movies from the 1970s, I'm sure similar answers will pop into most people's heads. Halloween, Carrie, Alien. I mean, even House is pretty mainstream now, and as it should be, but that's a story for another day. As much as I do love a lot of these movies, there's one from that decade that is so incredibly unique in comparison that I can't help but hold it onto a higher level, not just when comparing it to horror films, but most films in general. It comes from a legendary Italian director and writer. It has a cast of, at the time, pretty much unknown actors and actresses, and it features one of the most iconic scores in film history. Still guessing what it is? I mean, it's in the title. You should probably know what it is since you clicked on the video, but I guess I'll answer the question anyway. Have you seen Suspiria? Now, it's not like Suspiria is this small indie darling that only a small group of people have seen. It's probably Dario Argento's most popular film, and for right reason. It was written by Argento and Daria Nicolodi, and is originally based on an essay from 1845 by Thomas de Quincey, with the title Suspiria de Profundis. It is also part of Argento's Three Mothers trilogy, followed by Inferno and The Mother of Tears. Suspiria follows Susie Banyan, played by Jessica Harper, an American ballet student who starts her first term at Tanz Academy, a dance school in West Germany. After spending some time at the school and a strange array of murders, she learns that the school is actually a front for a coven of witches. It's a strange premise, but it works together pretty perfectly on a narrative level, and even more impressive on a technical level. The film originally released in 1977, and its impact and influence is something that is so predominant in films today, with stuff like The Neon Demon, Mandy, Color Out of Space, and I mean, you could quite literally take a clip from any Gaspar Noé film and know that this guy was a huge fan of Suspiria from birth. Now that you have some context, I think it's time to explain. Now, it's clear that I'm very passionate about this film, and I'm very excited to explain just why I think Suspiria is the masterpiece that I hype it up to be. And in order to do that, I need to break down a few things about the film. Obviously, being a film from the 70s, the effects are all practical rather than CGI or visual. They age perfectly in the sense that you can clearly tell that they aren't real, but there's still this sense of dread you feel watching them. They're raw, they're well made, and they just pop straight out at you whenever they're on screen. Any fans of practical effects will absolutely adore them. Although the story in the film is very simple to follow and it goes through a typical 3-act structure, it's told in such a strange way, which has helped with Argento's direction. You never truly know what twists and turns are going to appear next. I don't really want to spoil any of them either, for anyone that hasn't seen the film. And I mean, this video is more of a sales pitch rather than an analysis, so all I can really say is go and discover the story for yourself. The score, which was composed by both Argento and the band Goblin, is absolutely hypnotic. It's simply another piece of the jigsaw that fits right in place. It's a strange mixture of being pretty pleasant to listen to, whilst also granting you with this unsettling feeling as if you're being watched by someone, or that you yourself are navigating your way around this sinister school, with the presence of the witches being right around the corner. It absolutely immerses you into the viewing experience and is one of the highlights. However, there's one part of Suspiria that, if you speak to any person who's seen it, I'm sure they'll bring it up in a way to try and sell you the movie. And obviously, that's the... Suspiria is absolutely beautiful to look at. You could take any individual frame from anywhere in the film and I'm sure it'll still look stunning. You can look through IMDb or Letterboxd and find hundreds of reviews telling you that it's the most horrifying use of color in film. And as annoying as that would be, they're 100% correct. The iconic use of color and lighting is one of the big reasons that this film is talked about as much as it is today. I actually think that more films should take these risks in their lighting department so that we can avoid a lot of them appearing so dull and grey nowadays. I mean, we're in a grey epidemic. I'm sick of it. Although I could go on about how perfect Suspiria is for hours, clearly some people beg to differ, as in 2018 we were met with a new film that raises the question. Now in 2018, Luca Guadagnino's Suspiria remake was released to the public. Obviously, I have made many statements against the idea of remakes in the past, especially if they're lazy and only exist to profit off of existing IP. So let me start by saying the 2018 Suspiria feels like a completely different film from the original. Apparently, Guadagnino and Tilda Swinton have spoken about remaking this together for decades. Also, Suspiria isn't exactly the most recognizable IP. Like, people aren't going to be flooding to the cinema to see this. The truth is that the pair remade the film for the sole purpose that they clearly adored the original so much, and there was no intention of laziness, and there was a real attempt at making something that actually stands on its own two legs. And to be completely honest, it works pretty well. A lot of the choices made are the exact opposite of that the original film did, and in some ways that makes me respect it a bit more, whilst in other ways it makes me question, well, what was the point, and why couldn't you have just made the same film but not gone by the name of Suspiria? Regardless, it's a pretty fun time, and I do recommend it if you enjoy the original and you want to see a different take on it. Suspiria is truly a film I hold very dear to my heart, and to be completely honest with you, I think it's probably my favorite film of all time. This video is truly just a homage to why it's so special, why it means so much to me, and why, if you're not familiar with it, you should go out your way to watch it for the first ever time and truly have a unique experience in film watching. There isn't really much more I can say except for, if you haven't seen Suspiria, go and watch it today, because it's one of those movies that truly could change your life and make you look at filmmaking in a completely different light. Thanks for watching, and go and watch Suspiria.